Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Lovin Riyadh Show. Today is the 17th of March, and today's episode is all about two different kinds of moments, one happening on our screens and the other happening deep in the heart. Let's start with something we've all been feeling this Ramadan, the shift in Saudi drama. Because if there's one thing this season made clear, it's this: a new generation has officially arrived. We're seeing fresh faces step into the spotlight and not just participate, but completely take over. Let's talk about a few of them. First up, Musab al-Maliki. There's something about his presence that feels established. Like you're not watching a newcomer. You're watching someone who's been doing this for years. His performance had confidence, control, and a kind of natural charisma that filled every scene he was in. And a lot of people are already saying it. He might just be the star of this new generation. Then there's Lama Abdel Wahab. What made Lama stand out wasn't loud performances. It was the opposite. She brought a quiet, controlled energy, especially in roles set in 70s Riyadh, where she managed to capture emotion with just a look. And beyond the acting, she became something else too. A style reference. People weren't just watching her scenes. They were inspired by her look, her presence, her entire vibe. Next, Aida Al-Kasai. This season really showed her range. We've seen her in lighter, more comedic roles before, but this time she stepped into something completely different. A strong, grounded Bedouin character, and she delivered it in a way that felt real, not forced. That kind of versatility, that's what separates good actors from great ones. Then we have Aisha Kay. There's a certain strength in her performances, a kind of quiet power. You know, she doesn't overdo anything, but she still dominates the scene. And, what stood out the most is that she was able to hold her ground in intense confrontational moments. Even alongside, bigger, more established names. That says a lot. Now, let's talk about someone who took over not just the screen, but the internet, Nahar Al-Mawlit. If you've been on TikTok or X this Ramadan, you've definitely seen him. His roles feel natural, spontaneous, like someone you actually know. And his lines, they didn't just stay in the show. They became trends, people quoting him, remixing him, turning his moments into memes. That's when you know someone has truly connected with an audience. And finally, Nawaf Al-Shubaili. There's something very effortless about him, whether it's playful roles, school scenes, or more emotional moments. He brings a kind of charm that feels easy to watch, and that's a rare quality. He doesn't try too hard, and that's exactly why people are drawn to him. So when you step back and look at all of this together, it's clear. This isn't just a few good performances. This is a shift. A new generation that's not waiting for permission. They're already leading. Now, from screens and storytelling to something much more personal, a moment that doesn't need scripts, acting, or production, just feeling. A young British man recently shared his first Umrah experience after embracing Islam. He traveled to Makkah for the very first time, and when he stood in front of the Kaaba, you could see it, no words needed, just emotion. The kind of emotion that comes from experiencing something bigger than yourself for the first time. There's something about that moment, standing there, seeing what you've heard about, what you've imagined, and finally living it. It hits differently. And for him, it wasn't just a trip. It was a moment of belonging, a moment where everything feels aligned. Faith, place, purpose. What makes moments like this powerful is that they don't just stay with the person experiencing them, they reach other people too. They make you pause, reflect, maybe even ask questions. Because at the end of the day, stories like this remind us that faith isn't always something loud or complicated. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's just a feeling, and sometimes it shows up in a single moment, standing in front of something sacred and realizing you're exactly where you're meant to be. And that's what connects today's two stories. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for tuning into the Love and Riyadh podcast as part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcast from.